Hey everybody! Today we are going to be talking about my reading plan for July, which happens to be my favorite month of the entire year. So hi, my name is Talia. I like books, I like bandanas, and I am so happy that you are joining me at my channel today. I am just going to be going through my plan for July. July has always been one of my favorite months. I love the 4th of July. My birthday happens to be in the month of July. And yeah, I'm just really excited. 4th of July has always been one of my favorite holidays because it's just so chill and relaxing, and I don't have to like buy a bunch of presents or plan a big meal or hide eggs everywhere or do Valentine's crafts. Like, I just get to relax and we eat hot dogs and chips. And one of my neighbors actually this year bought like all the fireworks. Like, he posted this picture of like this huge table just like with so many fireworks. So I'm very excited for that because I bought like a couple sparklers for the kids and like little smoke bombs, and that's it. So I'm very excited that I get like a good fireworks show in the neighborhood. He lives just like right over there, without having to spend all my money on it. So it should be fun. The 4th of July is tomorrow, probably today by the time you are watching this video. Also this month I'm going camping. We're taking our 3 kids camping for the first time, so that should be an interesting adventure. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. I know traveling with the young children can always be a little bit, it could go either way. I'll just say that. It could be amazing, it could be not so amazing, but I'm hopeful. I think it will be fun. I think we will have some time together as a family. We're like tent camping it, and our site does not have any electricity, so we'll be like a little bit remote for a while, which should be good for all of us. So let's get to the books. So depending on how you look at it, I'm doing 3 to 5 group reads this month. It got a little bit out of control with my commitments, but I kept hearing about all these group reads and I'm like, yeah, I want to do that one. Yeah, I want to do that one. So let's go through what the plan is for this month. So the first group read I am in is For the Invisible Life of Addie Larue by V. Schwab. So it's July 3rd. I'm already on page 144 of this one. I'm really liking it so far. So in this book, we follow Addie Larue, and she, at the very beginning, basically it's the 1700s. I think 1714 is when it starts. 1700s, she is being forced to marry a man she doesn't want to marry, and she basically like flees into the woods and is like crying out like to the gods or whoever will listen to please help her and save her. And she ends up making a deal with one of these gods/demons, basically a deal with the devil, to not have to marry this guy and to be able to be independent. Well, in doing that, he grants her wish, but basically she can no longer be remembered by anyone. Like, she goes back to her parents' house and they're like, who are you? She, anytime she meets someone and they turn around or go out of the room and come back in, they're like, what are you doing here? We've never seen you before. So it's really interesting. And then we have flash forwards. So like there's the 1700 timeline, and then we flash forward to the year 2014, so 300 years in the future, and we follow that timeline as well and see how she has adapted to her life, basically being this nomad for 300 years that no one can remember. So it is a little bit stressful, I will say, because I'm like, oh, this would be so hard and you didn't know what you were getting into. But also it's so well written that I'm really enjoying it so far. So I forgot to say that this is a buddy read on MJ's channel. So MJ over at Reading This Life. So we are chatting about this on her Discord. So it's not too late to join in. If you would like to join in, just pop on over to MJ's channel. I will link her group reads video in the description below, and you can check that out. Also on MJ's channel, this one started kind of as a buddy read, and I think Chatty the Mad Chatter was the one who was like, hey, we should do a middle grade fantasy buddy read. And we all kind of decided on this one, and then we were chatting about it on MJ's Discord, and so many people were into it that now it's a group read as well. So The Girl Who Drinks the Moon has been on my TBR for quite a while. Kelly Barnhill is the author. This is about so it's like this village on the edge of the woods, and every year they sacrifice this child, basically place it on the edge of the woods, the youngest child in their village. They sacrifice it, they think, to make this witch who lives in the woods. They're sacrificing it to her so that she'll leave them alone and not curse them or whatever they think is going to happen. But the witch has no idea why they're doing this, because she doesn't want to sacrifice from them, and she every year comes and takes this child that the villagers are abandoning and takes it to, I think, another village to find the child at home. So I'm not sure where the story goes from there. I think something happens to one of the children that she ends up picking up, and it gets magical powers somehow, and the story kind of goes from there. So this one I'm excited to as well, and this should be a pretty quick read because it's middle grade fantasy, so this should be a good one as well, and I've heard good things about it, so I'm excited for that. Okay, also I am hopping on board with Jane Austen July. I've never read a Jane Austen book, and Jacqueline over at, I think it's Spread Book Joy, I'll link that below. She's doing a group read on Voxer actually for Persuasion, and this is the last book that Jane Austen wrote before she passed away, and the first Jane Austen book I will be reading. I honestly have no idea what it's about. I was warned not to read like the blurb at the beginning of the book because sometimes blurbs in classics give away spoilers, so I have not done that, but we're going to be reading this the first half of July, and then the second half of July we're going to be watching the new Netflix show, Persuasion. So that should be fun. Again, I love booktube because it like pushes me out of my comfort zone and out of, gets me to read books I normally would not read, and I'm very excited for this, and I have met a bunch of lovely ladies to read this with as well. So very excited for that one as well. Okay, also, so Robin Hobb, Assassin's Apprentice. I have been hearing about this everywhere, and last month, Nicole over at Dusty Book Snippers, she started doing like a buddy / mini group read on her Discord, and I got kind of jealous about it because they just sounded like they were having so much fun reading this book. So they read the first book in this series in June, and they're reading the second one in July. I am going to try to hop on the bandwagon and read this one in July and get caught up. We'll see how far I get. June wasn't the greatest reading month for me, so I'm keeping my goals like pretty low this month. I have 2 books from my June TBR that I didn't even touch that I'm kind of just like pushing aside for now, but I'm excited for this one. It's about, I've said that about every book. I'm just excited about reading in general, but this is about, so this gentleman is, I think he's like the bastard son of a prince, so he's kind of like an outcast to society, but somehow he is being trained to be an assassin, and he has some sort of magic going on that makes him really good at this, and story goes from there. That's all I know. But I know that lots of people have said it's good, and we're gonna go for it. I have not read a lot of adult fantasy, so we'll see how it goes. So those 4 books, these 4 are my official like TBR of the month. I'm not getting crazy. I've also discovered that I kind of don't like to have like too many books on schedule. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a mood reader because I do like to have kind of a plan, but once I finish these, I'm kind of leaving it open to see where I want to go from there, because I got to the end of June and I had like 2 other books that I needed to read that were on my TBR, and I was just like, ugh, I don't want to read those, and it kind of like put me in a slump. I was just like, I'm not gonna read it all. Oh, I forgot to mention, also for my book club, so the 5th book is for my in-person book club, my real life ladies that I meet with once a month, and we are reading The Messy Lives of Book People by, I think it's Phaedra, Phaedra Patrick. I'll put the cover up here because I'm actually listening to that one on audiobook. And it is about a girl named Liv. I guess she's like a woman. She's like early 40s. And she works as a cleaner for her favorite author. And her favorite author ends up passing away, and as her like last dying wish, she wants Liv, her cleaner, to finish her last book. She's written like this long series, and she's working on her 20th book right now, and it's the cleaner's job now to finish this book. So I'm probably 3/4 of the way through that one right now, because I started at mid-June. We kind of meet like mid-June and mid-July, so it's always kind of like broken between months. But I'm really liking that. The character is very relatable. Like in the very beginning of it, the cleaner is cleaning and listening to an audiobook with one earbud in so she can hear her employer. And while I'm listening to this, I have one earbud in and I'm cleaning and listening to my kids at the same time and my audiobook. And I was just like, immediately I was like, this book is perfect for me. So yeah, I'm really liking it. And there's kind of like a mystery woven in as well. Like she's trying to figure out why her employer has done some of the things she's done throughout her life. And yeah, I'm just really liking it. It's like a pretty easy, light listen, I guess. And yeah, I'll recap that at some point when I finish it, but that's been really enjoyable as well. So those are my 5 pretty much group reads that I'm doing this month. And again, only 3 are like official group reads, but the other 2 I like am linked to people in some way as well. So after all that's accomplished, if I have any more time, if I'm not just like laying out in the sun somewhere, I'm not sure where I'm gonna go, but a couple options. I really want to read another Agatha Christie. So Murder on the Orient Express is an option. I also picked this up at Goodwill recently for just a couple bucks, Into Thin Air by Jon Krakauer. I did my review on Into the Wild, which I loved last month. Maybe in May, I don't know. So I'm gonna be reading another of his as well. I also have like, I don't know, like I really want to read Give Her the Stars. My book of the month choice is called Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, I think, and it sounds really good as well. So I'm kind of just leaving it open, and we'll see where things go from there. In other news, look, I got books on my bookshelf. They're not on the floor anymore. Oh, book's falling. Good job, Talia. I feel like I need a pat on the back for that. I do really want to get like some sort of like wall hanging or something for this empty space, but I am terrible at decorating. Like I'm like missing that part of my brain. So if you have any suggestions or like want to send me a link to cute Amazon artwork that would like look good there, any suggestions or ideas, I will take it, because it's just like a blank wall and I feel like I want it to be something. So yeah, that's all I have for today. Happy July, everybody. I hope July is amazing for you. I know it's going to be for me. I've decided that it's going to be a good month. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. Take some time to read a good book or two. Love God, love people, and if you are having a bad hair day, just wear a bandana.